It's a Permian Basin landmark. We're talking about the Museum of the Southwest. From the Children's Museum to the Blakemore Planetarium, the museum has something for everyone. But before it was a museum, it was home to one of the most prominent families in Midland history, the Turners, led by Fred and Juliet.
Mr. Turner was a land scout and worked in the Yates Field in Pecos County. Realized there were some vacancies, which was what they call unclaimed land. Went and filed for those.
Turner would go on to own this land, and at the time was one of the largest oil reserves in the world.
And drilled the first Fred Turner Jr. #1, which came in at 156,000 barrels a day.
With that new wealth, he bought 12 lots of land in downtown Midland, with plans to build a big house, a home we now know as the historic Turner Mansion. The almost 5,500 square foot home, costing just $250,000 at the time, started its construction.
It started building in 1936. It sits on 12 lots, which is one of the bigger pieces of property in town. Mr. and Mrs. Turner built it, and they had two daughters, Freda and Dorothy. Dorothy, the youngest daughter of the Turners, married Clarence Scarborough Jr.,
a member of another prominent Midland family history that lives on in the home today, with one room being dedicated to how the home's former residents impacted the tall city.
They were critical, actually. They were very philanthropic, big supporters of churches in Midland, brought a lot of culture to Midland.
The families lived in the luxurious house from 1937 to 1964.
So this would have been the guest room for the mansion. And everywhere where there's black was where the original walls were. So this part right here was the coat closet for the front door. And they actually entered through here. So you come this way, and then this was the closet for this room. And then this was the guest bathroom. And all the tile in the mansion is hand painted. This is the breakfast room. When the mansion was built, linoleum was brand new and very expensive. So only really rich people had linoleum.
We've made some modern renovations to the kitchen, obviously.
Yeah. We even went upstairs, a place the general public isn't allowed. That's because the Turner's bedrooms now serve as office space.
It's quite grand now, but to think about it in its heyday, when there wasn't offices, and, all of this, and it was adorned with the original furniture and the grandeur of it, I can only imagine.
Amongst the wealthiest people in town, that money had to go somewhere.
If you get that kind of money, what do? You buy a racehorse. So Mr. Turner actually bought 2 horses and brought them over from Europe. The one he thought was going to be the Kentucky Derby winner didn't pan out as well. So he ran Tommy Lee, and he won in 1959. It was actually stabled here in Midland, Texas.
Among the vast history in this mansion,
do you want a secret?
The biggest mystery of this house is hidden in a closet upstairs.
We have a safe that we don't know how to open.
Oh, wow.
So we don't know what's in there. So the safe, it's a mystery all of its own. We've never opened it, and I can't find any records where it has been opened since the museum has been here. So it's the stuff legends are made of.
What do you think's in there?
Millions and millions of dollars.
But it isn't the potential jackpot in that safe that inspires these workers. It's the innovation and hard work shown when creating this gargantuan mansion that's still standing today.
I think one of the things that's so interesting is how the Turners made this grand lifestyle without the modern technologies that we have. We talked about the air conditioning and lack thereof, and how they used drafts and wind directions to cool it. All of this architecture was done with a slide rule. There's no CAD drawings, there's no computer renderings. All of the doors and woodwork are hand carved. All of our balustrades, these are all handmade. The front door was handmade. The front entrance is hand carved limestone. So just the amount of work and passion and artistry in the house, I think, is one of the best things about it.
After the deaths of Mr. and Mrs. Turner in the early 60s, the family gifted the house to the Museum of the Southwest, and it's been one of the most interesting museums in the Permian Basin ever since. But just because it's a museum now doesn't take away from the fascinating history of the Turners, and how Fred turned an unclaimed vacancy to one of the most luxurious mansions in Midland. In Midland, I'm Marcus Risen.